It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't clean the statue. Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. There's not much footing once you reach the statue, so be careful up there.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way, Collei, do you know anything about the Dendro Archon? You know, what's she like?
That depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Oh, is that the name of the former Dendro Archon?
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, according to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sarastana.
Uh-huh. Then what happened?
Well, and then... I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest.
Huh? You're not too sure? But aren't you from Sumeru?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. But...
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry, we understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Because you two know Amber, right?
Wait, Amber? You mean...
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say that she helped me become a new person. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... sorry.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure, you really like Amber.
Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Collei. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
Ah, so that's how you knew.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust. Really. I wish I could tell you more about the Ginger Archon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Ginger Archon? So that's why you're here. Thank you for telling me your story.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright, we have a statue to clean.
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet back here shortly. Toodle.
At it, the deity that's carved on the statue is kinda small. Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? You might be right. The statue does look kinda old. Well, anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will fly up and take care of the top, and you clean everything below. Nice work! That's one clean statue. Let's head down and meet up with Collei. Collei, we're back!
Welcome back! You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break. I brought some fruit and water for us.
Yay, food! What kind of goodies did you bring? Hey, don't be a party pooper. It's not like Collei is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion for their food. Xiangling taught Paimon that.
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them. Whoops!
Ah, no! You dropped it on the ground!
Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Paimon nearly had a heart attack there. Those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Collei. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to compliment the chef, Paimon. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers, so you'll be making your own pita pockets in no time.
Yay! Thanks, Collei! It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments too.
Oh, I guess it happens from time to time.
So, Collei, don't you think that TIGHNARI's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature, but Master's actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called, something? Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. Seems you already know him well. Anyway, I'm sure the sages were not happy about his responses. Master could obviously have a bright future in the Academia, but he insists on sticking to the path of a forest watcher. Every day he helps the locals of the forest and passes on his extensive knowledge to trainees like me. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Paimon would have never guessed that. Oh, speaking of TIGHNARI, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But, it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why, is he going to die? It probably started to get under Master's skin after a while.
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Collei started to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this! It's time for some primordial wrath!
No! Don't touch me!
Oh, sorry, Collei. Paimon didn't mean to scare you.
No, I just... I didn't mean that.
Collei, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm... I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that. Well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharvaville. I think Master and the others should be back by now, too.
Huh? What was up with Collei just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden? Look, she's practically running back. Paimon can't even see her now.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. With the wind.
Ah, Traveler, you've returned.
Yep, we're back. Have you seen Collei by any chance?
Oh, Collei? Yes, I saw her go into her room just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have to wait and talk to her tomorrow then.
I'm dead on my feet. I think I'll stay here a while.
Is far more pleasant than that if it doesn't.
Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Collei, and still can't figure out what the problem might be.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? TIGHNARI? What are you doing here? Where's Collei?
I came to check on Collei's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Collei has been dealing with for some time. Collei has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
So, TIGHNARI, what's really wrong with Collei?
let's take this conversation elsewhere. Collei just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet. All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Collei told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Collei is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because Collei asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Collei revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tighnari, what exactly is wrong with Collei? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on affected areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Collei seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Collei's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Collei over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Collei and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Collei was with them. However, Collei's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Collei is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Collei's been through so much suffering.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Collei wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Collei once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tighnari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led her to break down this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though I must admit that Collei's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. Alright, now that I've told you about Collei's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine. I'll see you two later.
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Collei too.
Alright, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering, like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problemo.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilot Pala Lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, TIGHNARI? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilot Pala Lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. The Nilot Pala Lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. There should be Nilot Pala Lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount.
Alright, we've gathered enough Nilot Pala Lotuses. Let's head back to meet TIGHNARI. Hey, TIGHNARI! We found the lotuses you requested.
Let me have a look. Good. Very good. These are all excellent quality. I'm glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seemed—
Hey, TIGHNARI!
Oh, TIGHNARI! Someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they doing back? Let's go find out what's going on.
TIGHNARI, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading, so we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, TIGHNARI! Why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the wither. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision. that is, the power to manipulate elements, we'll be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like TIGHNARI here. Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using the power of the elements. Don't sweat it. We've helped others deal with similar situations before.
Wait, you've met other forest rangers before? I was planning to properly show you both how to identify the withering before you left Gandharvaville. Anyway, since you two are experienced adventurers, come with me. I'm sure you'll both be able to help.
Hey, look! That gloomy area over there looks like a withering zone. Even though Paimon's seen one before, it's still kinda scary.
All right, Traveler. We're about to enter the withering zone. Since you already have experience dealing with these things, you should already know what to do. But please remember, don't push yourself. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life. You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone. Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Come on, we can do it. Let the show begin.
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering.
We did it! Everything's returning to normal
Yes. Thanks to you two, we were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tighnari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
It's that obvious, huh? Recently, the rate at which withering zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, it won't. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The withering is leaving lasting effects on the rainforest itself. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Collei's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
Huh? Well, why is that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's familiars a long time ago, but even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time, until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
Oh, Tighnari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh? Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tighnari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her, well, I'd prefer not to remember. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tighnari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all, though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance, not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Ruka Devata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsol. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsol itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsol.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any questions you may have. No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing.
Phew! Go!
Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area.
so hungry. Need water.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Huh? How'd things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go Wow, this place is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
With the wind.
do more. Yeah! Time to shine! Strike a pose! Ink! Time to go! Be amazed! Step on up! What is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute! Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good. Ready, steady, go! Let's dance. Oh. Protect us.
Well. Looks like we meet again, traveler.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this strange place?
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern return you. Bow before the abyss!
Let the world come alive! Yoo-hoo! Shower me with praise!
It's a roar!
Toss over!
His future will
Let my name echo in song!
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before! What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler. Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia anywhere out here. Oh, there she is! Quick, let's see how she's doing.
So sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who is there? Tighnari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tighnari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
I see. So, you're friends of Tighnari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tighnari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's... Alright, we're up, Traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tighnari came to visit.
Let's use the empty box that Tighnari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing. And the box is a nice touch, too. Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia.
Huh? Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte. Even though everything you mentioned was in TIGHNARI's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn eel primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn eel would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though, it appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spiritborn eel should no longer trigger such reactions.
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa, so knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Don't you ever feel afraid of the risk, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself, and they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, the fact that I was born, I studied hard, but then it was back then.
So,
Sorry. If you two, there's no need.
now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
With the wind.
Think about it, TIGHNARI. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage...
Keep your
Sage Cock, I am mere... I see.
TIGHNARI.
And what...
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City.
And, how long will I be required to...
There's no definite answer.
Do you mean to tell me that, despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's...
TIGHNARI!
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
TIGHNARI, what was...
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account... But all that...
It was...
Very good.
That's right!
Sorry.
Well...
Oh, also,
Oh?
it's called an... Needless to...
Great! Next up, Sumeru... That's right! TIGHNARI, we have...
Yes, she knew you...
Thanks, TIGHNARI.
Farewell.
I've been waiting for...
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Collei.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend. Not some girl that needs... But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine.
There's no need to apologize, Collei. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because...
Thank you.
Oh?
It's my recipe for...
Yay! Thanks,
I hope that whenever you eat them, well then,